please remain seated as the senior class enters the field house. Thank you. please stand for the national anthem. How am I doing? All right.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege to welcome all of you here to the 2018 commencement ceremony for West De Pere High School. Before our program begins, I would like to thank and introduce the Board of Education members that are with me on stage today. Thank you for your leadership, dedication, time commitment to the school district of West De Pere. First, our school board president, Mrs. Barb Van Derzen. Our vice president, Mr. Joe Bergner. Our treasurer and chair of our finance committee, Mrs. Jenny Foos. Board clerk and chair of our policy committee, Scott Borley. And board member at large, Tom Vandehei. We are very grateful for your service to the school district of West De Pere, and thank you very much for serving so many years in a row. A consistent school board is critically important to a successful school district. Next, I would like to thank all of you in attendance here this afternoon, parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends of this year's graduation class, and the entire West De Pere community for your emotional and financial support. Your commitment to our students and staff is very much appreciated, and together we will sustain our vision of pride and excellence. Thank you to our administrative team for your providing instructional leadership necessary to guide and deliver a first-class curriculum to our students. Thank you to our dedicated teachers and staff for your daily work ethic, willingness to learn cutting-edge instructional practices, and for your quality service for our students. Collectively, your total efforts have made it possible for West De Pere High School to be recognized in the top 50 best high schools in the state of Wisconsin in 2018 by U.S. News and World Report. Finally, thank you and congratulations to the class of 2018. I know in my heart that your drive for excellence will continue as you go off to college, Some of you will serve our country in the military, and others will thrust yourself into the workforce. Be the best for this world. Today, I want to emphasize the soft skills of success that any individual should possess in our world today. Don't get me wrong, a high GPA, class rank, and community service are critically important. But excellent grades can only carry you so far. It's the common sense, non-cognitive skills that will lead you to the finish line in that final exam in college, your first interview, or your job promotion. It's these soft skills that really separate the high achievers in life with those that feel good, that good is good enough. Listed, you will see the 12 most important skills of high achievers, with 6 of them highlighted: responsibility, optimism, respect, compassion, honesty, and trustworthiness. I want to focus my attention this afternoon on 3 of them that can critically make a difference in your life. And it will be the difference between you being at the starting line or the finish line. Responsibility. Take ownership for anything you commit to, whether large or small. Feel emotionally bound to follow through on the commitment through completion. Your good name depends on it. By taking responsibility, people will look for you first because they know a task will get finished if you do it. Live up to your commitments and expectations. Next, compassion. Be compassionate to others. Care more than you criticize. Try walking in someone else's shoes. Feel what your classmate, neighbor, or friend is feeling as though it's your own feelings. Find the right words to say. Be sensitive to other classmates. Be understanding while being supportive. And honesty. Be truthful, sincere, open. Make sure people know where you stand. Allow yourself to be transparent and open. It is not okay to steal, to cheat, or to lie. There is no greater trait but to be honest with yourself and others. Your integrity is at the forefront of your character. But mostly to the graduates of West Pere High School class of 2018, I would ask that you treat others the way you want to be treated. Be a good person. Appreciate the value of your gifts and share them with others. If you do these things, I will guarantee you that success, happiness, and great satisfaction will be yours for the rest of your life. Once again, congratulations and good luck in the future.
Before I begin, I would like to say welcome and thank you to the school board, Dr. Gerke, the faculty and staff, and all of our family and friends for being here to support us today, and for all of the endless support you have given us up to this point. It means so much, and we cannot thank you all enough. Now, I prepared this speech the way you, most high school students, and myself prepare themselves for their exams, AP tests, discussions, or any other big projects. I went home after school, took a nap around 9 at night, got up at 2:47 in the morning to work on it, and went back to bed when I was done. Now, I didn't actually do that but I'm sure some of you have taken the pre-sleep nap at least once in your lives. In all seriousness, I want to continue with saying how honored I am to be able to deliver this speech today and how truly thankful I am for the past 13 years. Over the past 13 years, we spent in all 2,340 days together. In all, that is about 16,380 hours, not including all the things we did outside of school. That's crazy. Like I said, 16,380 hours of the past 13 years were spent in school listening to Mr. Batten's intriguing lectures, discussing poetry past and present, learning a foreign language, plugging and chugging numbers in chemistry or algebra, painting masterpieces in art, or making our sound vibrations in the air sound good with everyone else's. However, a lot of those hours were spent on other things, some of which I think are just as important. We spent countless hours screaming our heads off under the Friday night lights, showing our school spirit during homecoming week, dressing up for and having a ball at dances, and even spending weekend nights driving around having deep conversations. We had long nights studying things like the esophagus, Shakespeare, European history, that King Henry died drinking chocolate milk, an unhealthy amount of definitions, and that bald squirrels get lucky chestnuts. We spent time traveling to other cities and even countries together. As a class, we passed many long hours at practice, hoping the workout would be less than the day before's, but knowing that the hard days only make us better. We exhausted some of those hours worrying about when the next clown appearance will be, or whether we hear Yanny or Laurel. We spent all day or all night competing in sports, only to come home and have to finish our homework or even play some Fortnite. And somehow, we did the same thing year after year. We put in extreme amounts of time rehearsing for our short but exhilarating 3 days of performances, or one concert where we could showcase our blood, sweat, and actual tears. Many hours were also put into extracurricular activities. We gave our time to helping others make good decisions, planning school events, competing at seminars, or volunteering in the community. We even gave our own blood at the blood drives. What I'm getting at is that we gave immeasurable amounts of time to the things we love, and even to some of the things we didn't. And look how fast it went. Look how you once thought, man, I can't wait for this week to be over, or I cannot wait for next year. Now that week is over, and there's no more next year. What do you remember? What do you wish you would have savored even more? What if you could reverse time, go back to and relive? Those things you thought of sometimes pass us by without us even realizing it. For that reason, I say take your time. Enjoy every second, whether it be miserable or the best time of your life. Stay in the moment, and even though time doesn't stop, it will make it seem like each moment is a little longer, and you can enjoy it so much more. Even though these past 4 years are over, they didn't pass us without a fight, and we have so many amazing memories to look back on. I hope you enjoy the last few weeks before we all go our own ways, and I hope you take your time in the years to come. And yes, I also hope you take time to play Fortnite or watch The Office. Class of 2018, thank you so much for everything we have experienced in our 4 years here. And I want you all to know that I am so proud to be able to call you my classmates. With that, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Senora Davidson, one of the most influential teachers I know. Es muy importante divertirse en sus vidas. Thank you.
One of my favorite musical artists of all time is Lorde. And the reason that I like her so much is that she speaks honestly and eloquently about the struggles of youth. Her latest album, titled Melodrama, deals with the often complicated process of maturing. The whole album pivots between feeling guilty about yourself and your shortcomings and becoming at peace with who you are despite your flaws. This whole journey of maturity centers around one idea: that you are not what you thought you were. And I thought that that was a rather odd sentiment until I realized how true it was. Think about it this way. Our graduating class has seen incredible co-curricular successes. Our forensics and French forensic teams, our state gold medal earning legends, our men's and women's track teams were conference champions for 4 years in a row. Our men's tennis and women's soccer teams have stainless reputations. I had someone from another school telling me about how fantastic the West De Pere women are on the local Ice Bears hockey team. Last year, our women's tennis team broke a record by advancing the entire varsity team to sectionals. This year was the first year in 3 years that our competitive one-act play has made it to state and qualified for awards. And we didn't just qualify for an award, we won 6, including the Outstanding Crew Award, which West De Pere had never won before. That is a pretty commendable resume. From Bailey Lau, who put her heart and soul into conducting a gorgeous ballad for concert band this year, to Jordan Strick, who crowd surfed at senior ball. Graduates, we have done things these past 4 years that we are not going to forget anytime soon. From the serious to the silly. Did any of us think that these accomplishments were even possible freshman year? Think back over the past 4 years and find one thing you've done that you're proud of. Maybe you fought for a certain grade in a certain class, or you finally set up an appointment with the doctor or the therapist that you've been too scared to do for years. From a pay raise to improved friend groups, find at least one thing. No matter what it is, I bet you had moments leading up to that success where you doubted yourself. But we've proved ourselves wrong. We are not who we thought we were. We did not become who we thought we would become. So much of our childhood is spent focused on who we're becoming. What are you going to be when you grow up, and all of that. It's been so prevalent these past few years. Where are you going to college? What are you majoring in? What trade programs are you joining? Where are you traveling to? And where are you working now so you can pay for all of that? Question after question after question. What are you going to do, and who are you going to be? I think sometimes we forget that we've already become someone. And for a lot of us, we are not who we thought we were going to be. For me, that's a great thing. I mean, I could give you an incredible list of things that plagued me freshman year, from my intense fear of failure, to my sexuality, to emotional isolation, and more. And now, 4 years later, not only am I at peace with all of those things, but for the first time in my life, I get to be honest and vulnerable. For the first time in my life, I am living with absolute authenticity. And guys, I've never been happier. I am so glad that I am not who I thought I was. And I'm confident enough to venture that we've all had a similarly positive transformation in some aspect of our lives. Graduates, we've spent the past 4 years looking forward, and it's too easy to get caught up in that current and never look back. But I encourage you today to pause. Juxtapose your past self with your present self. Acknowledge the person that you've become. Respect and congratulate yourself for how you have transformed. West De Pere High School graduating class of 2018, you are not who you thought you were. You're even better. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. For those of you who do not know me, I am proudly the West Pier chicken guy. I've been raising chickens at home for a long time, and the chickens we had here in the courtyard were actually mine. That said, I hope you guys didn't expect anything other than a chicken speech today. Since the day I was granted the privilege to speak to you, I began thinking of ways to incorporate chickens into the speech. I know what you're thinking, but why? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm sorry. But I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say, so let's get to it. I see our lives, our journeys, as steps and stages. Our entire lives are a process filled with all kinds of certain stages. One other thing that goes through various stages throughout their journey is the incubation process of a chicken egg. In the incubator or under the mother hen, the egg grows under 3 conditions. It needs heat at 99.5 degrees, it needs humidity at 55%, and it needs to be turned every few hours. I see a lot how this can compare to our lives as children, students, and peers, and I'm going to explain it to you. The heat in our lives represents our parents. They are the true reason we are here. They are there to give us comfort and to keep us growing and developing. But our parents are also there to literally bring the heat. It is their job to bring punishment so we learn from our mistakes. And they are always on our backs about getting good grades. I know this sounds weird, but thank you, parents, for grounding us and taking our phones away. All that heat and pressure you guys put on us is why we are successful and why we will be in our futures. So thank you, Mom and Dad. The humidity in our lives is our teachers. The humidity puts moisture in the egg to give it what it needs to keep developing. Just like how our teachers teach us and put knowledge in our minds so we always know what to do next. They are the ones we need to thank for our ability to achieve accomplishments like the ones we are celebrating today. Thank you, West Pier staff, for putting up with this class for the last 4 years. And I would like to apologize for the school days that we made feel endless. You may have thought we have matured by senior year, but check back in after college. On a serious note, thank you so much, teachers, for teaching us MLA format, how to throw a frisbee, and to not stick tape measures in the table saw. I'm sorry, Carbon. We are so grateful, even for you, Miss Dorner. We wouldn't be here today without all the things you have taught us and the wisdom you have shared with us. Now, the process of turning the egg represents our friends. The process of turning the egg prevents the chicken from sticking to one side of the egg and keeps it in a healthy position. It is like how our friends keep us from doing really stupid stuff, and they keep us in a safe place. But just like how it keeps the egg rolling, our friends are there to keep our lives fun and exciting. With these friends, we are never at a standstill. We are always making the most of life and keeping it from becoming dull. And we do more than just keep everything fun. Throughout the past 4 years, we have been at each other's side for comfort, assistance, and even just to have someone to laugh with. We support each other during basketball games, football games, musicals, plays, every 15 minutes. When Tristan tries to do a muscle up and ends up snapping his arm in half. Mr. West Pier, dances, and many more. Even though we may have our closer, smaller friend groups, we always come back together as a whole to support each other. Thank you, guys. I wouldn't have chosen a better group. Though the process of incubation is only 21 days for a chicken, our incubation process has been the previous 18 years of our lives. They are both difficult, exciting, and fun stages. We as a class have been through it all, but next year it will be different. From the moment that chick comes out of that egg, it loses the constant supply of heat, humidity, and the turning. Just like we will no longer have these amazing teachers around us. Our friends may be pretty far away, and we won't have our parents to help us make the good decisions. Don't get me wrong, all of these things will always be in our lives, but we're going to have to break out of our own shells and start making our own decisions to keep being our best selves. We'll have to learn from new people, and we may have to find some new friends, but what we have now together will last a lifetime. I know this class will stay in touch and maintain good friendships. This won't be the end, but rather a beginning, with a whole new flock of chickens. Congratulations, class of 2018.
When I found out that I was going to give a speech, I went and asked my mom, what should I talk about? What did you do? What would you say? She looked at me, she said, do some research. Thanks. Thanks for the help. Wow. So I did. I went back and I looked at great speeches throughout the years. And I found a reoccurring theme. Every great speech starts off with a quote that sets the tone. So I found a speech by one of the most accomplished men and one of my role models. Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. The journey throughout high school has been nothing like what we had expected. There have been all sorts of twists and turns throughout the journey, yet all of us has found a way to make it to the end since we had each other. At the beginning of the year, many of us did not know what to expect. Many seniors throughout the country always tend to contract senioritis and just want the year to be over as soon as possible. In fact, seniors become so caught up in reaching the end, they forget to even live their senior year. However, in my opinion, the West Pere class of 2018 did not seem to display this trait. We seemed to cherish every moment we had with one another, all the way to the end. The tone was set right away. I witnessed larger crowds at all events throughout the school year, whether they were student sections on Friday nights or crowds in the auditorium at band concerts. We made our presence known and cheered on our friends. This senior class seemed to not take a single second for granted with one another because we knew our time was limited. I remember the homecoming dance and seeing everyone dancing with one another, whether they were friends or not. It was truly amazing to see people from all sorts of friend groups just enjoying their time with one another, even if it was watching Trevor Teskey do the stanky leg. I think that by cherishing every moment, our class grew closer and closer throughout the year. I remember watching our girls' varsity basketball team defy the odds and beat a Seymour team that had beaten them twice earlier that year. I witnessed the best band concert of all time. Sitting in the seats and observing the music they played will always stick with me. It was not these events by themselves that were special. It was the fact my peers and I were able to witness them together. We truly left no doubt in what we did and gave it our all because we knew that we would never get this day back with our friends. While I remember these, none of these moments come close to my favorite. And I know everyone's thinking right about now, here comes a sob story about football and his dad and his friends. I don't want to see him cry, this is going to be horrible. But it's not it. It's going to stick with me, but it's not the one I'm truly talking about. I'm referring to the night of senior ball and the awards that were given out before the dance. The category of most artistic came up, and I believe everyone knew who had this award in the bag. Maddie Vandehei looked down at the card and read off the category. She then looked up and exclaimed, Jackson Lewis as the winner. Immediately after his name was called, the entire room turned into a thunder of clapping and ear-piercing cheering. Jackson jumped all around and threw his fists in the air, and everyone was so happy for him. This was the perfect ending for the class of 2018. Having everyone cheer on one of the most positive, friendly people in our class to his award for most artistic. But don't get me wrong, our journey has not always been sunshines and rainbows. This year we did face a lot of adversity, whether scholastically or socially. However, going day by day, we all eventually found our way through it, whether it was going to loved ones or each other, since we knew our peers would always steer us in the right direction. As Jordan Strick and Trevor Teskey would say, everything that happens in life, whether good or bad, you just gotta wear it. When times grew tough, We were always there for each other, and personally, I think this was something truly unique to our class. Looking back on this year, I would not trade a single person, because without a single one of you, this year would not have been the same, and our class would not be who we are today. So here's to the West Superior class of 2018. We made it, and more importantly, we made it together.
Good afternoon. Mrs. Rowland, Mr. Galaney, choir students, and band students, thank you for sharing with us your musical talent, not only today, but throughout the school year. Once again, I stand in front of you excited to introduce our K-12 staff that for another year has led our high school to national recognition for academic excellence. Thank you, teachers, administrators, and support staff. All K-12 staff, please stand and be recognized. Seniors, when we look back at the last 4 years, we can clearly recount English, math, science lessons, and the work required to pass courses. One of the many subtle lessons you may not recall that is always right in front of you is the soft lessons on values that we as a staff tried to bestow on you. Being on time, being at school every day, doing your best. Well, let's look back at your first teachers, your parents. From the time you were born, your parents have been modeling lessons for you such as be nice to others, share with your friends, don't fight with your brother. You get it. Thank you, parents, for helping us. But today I want to briefly recognize the other important teachers in your life, grandparents. If you're a grandparent of a senior, please stand up and be recognized. I actually knew you needed a break, didn't you? Seniors, well-known facts that we know about grandparents are: grandchildren get 99% of their awesomeness from their grandmother. A grandparent is a little bit parent, a little bit teacher, and a little bit best friend. A grandfather is someone you can look up to no matter how tall you get. Grandma doesn't babysit. Grandma has play dates. Seniors, over the last 18 years, your grandparents have been sharing with you wisdom and love. They also maybe have told you stories of family legacies, talked about past experiences, or even gave you the occasional "when we were young" message. When we were young, we only had one car. When we were young, we were lucky if we got one bath every other day. When we were young, we didn't have the internet. We certainly couldn't walk around with a phone because our phone was attached to the wall. Our phone also was a rotary phone, which I know you don't know what that means. Cherish the grandparent stories, and you will always remember, like I do, some of the best grandparent sayings. Have any of you heard, "Close the door, were you born in a barn"? You just wait until your dad comes home. Keep crying, and I'll give you something to cry about. Sorry, that was my dad. Collectively, these sound like random grandparent sayings. You might want to ignore them on the surface, but your grandparents are teaching you values with these phrases. Seniors, a graduation day is a single event in your life, but your parents and your grandparents are teaching you every day the lessons and values that they have been raised with and hope you will learn from. Thank you, grandparents, for helping us. Congratulations, seniors. Now it is with great pride that I present to our school board president, Mrs. Barb Vanders, and the class of 2018 for graduation.
Good afternoon to the class of 2018, parents, guests, and staff. It is my privilege to be here with you on behalf of the Westy Pere Board of Education to congratulate you seniors on graduating from Westy Pere High School today. I'd like to take a moment to thank all parents, extended family, teachers, staff, and administration for being there for them through the years. Your class motto is, "If you dream it, you can do it," from Walt Disney. Don't let go of those dreams. Make them a reality. And when they come true, dare to dream some more and fulfill one dream after another. As you do that, dare to take a risk and go out of your comfort zone, because it is through risk that we sometimes fail, and through failure that we learn and persevere and eventually succeed. Edward Simmons said, "The difference between failure and success is doing a thing nearly right and doing a thing exactly right." And B.F. Skinner said, "A failure is not a mistake. It may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying." So never give up, and always believe in yourself. And remember that today's goodbye is not forever. We at Westy Pere recently lost a friend and colleague, Lynn Melberg, who some of you know, especially if you attended Westwood. Lynn worked as an aide, secretary, and then an administrative assistant. One of her favorite quotes was, "Sunsets are reminders that endings can be beautiful." And today's ending is beautiful. It may be goodbye to the life you've known here at Westy Pere, but we live in a world full of technology, with email, instant message, Snapchat, cell phones. You get the picture. It's a small world today, and no matter where all of you are heading, you have lots of ways to stay connected. With that, I wish each of you and everyone that you continued success on all of your future dreams. Dr. Gerke, on behalf of the Westy Pere Board of Education, it is my honor and a privilege to accept these graduates of 2018.
Jared Hunter Adams. Emma Lee Albers. Patrick Daniel Elbers. Kiana Lynn Ansel. Thomas John Arce. Jonathan Henry Asensio. Rain Joseph Ashley. Morgan Faye Bayton. Landon Patrick Bailey. Keandra Jean Baird. Samantha Minette Balthazar. Nicholas David Bauer. Mackenzie Lee Barrell. Austin Robert Beaumier. Jacob Daniel Bellerud. Cody Thomas Bino. Evelyn Ann Berner. Callie Taylor Bissett. Camille Ariana Billy. Savannah Rose Bonsher. Ashley Renee Borchert. Alex Lawrence Borneman. Morgan Elizabeth Bolfin. Roman Daniel Bovey. Olivia Rose Bowe. Emily Jane Brower. Tanner Thomas Breeze. Brandon Gerald Buck. Sydney K. Calloway. Morgan Elizabeth Carew. Samantha Renee Careview. Eric Joseph Kayer. Zachary Gabriel Cherapata. Abigail Rose Charlier. Elise Taylor Chervany. Maxwell John Cordry. Morgan Ann Cornelius. Tiana Raylyn Cornelius. Angela Hema Cortez. Mackenzie Elena Cumbers. James Joseph Danon. Degaluhiaks Jalen Danforth. Emily Elizabeth Day. David Thomas DeBear. Maggie Christine Decker. Sophia Susan DeClean. Casey Ray Dennis. Ariel Allen Tom Dennis. Austin John DeSmith. Carissa Lynn Devroy. Elizabeth Paige Diekvoss. Mackenzie Sharon Dittmer. Nathan Michael Doherty. Kyle Martin Dorner. Marissa Rose Aynard. Cody Dale Aish. Brenna Eileen Evans. Dane Michael Fetterman. Jaden Paige Forchette. Amaya Lynn Freeman. Aubrey Rose Fry. Madison Star Annie Funmaker. Jonathan Gunnar Geringer. Holly Ann Gildernick. Gavin Paul Gillette. Kiana Marie Goodine. Dylan Peter Govin. Allison Marie Grassel. Keandra Shantae Greer. Hadley Marie Hansen. Patsy Elizabeth Hansen. Ashley Jane Harrison. Peyton Maria Hartman. Emmett Matthew Hersher. Abby Rose Hippis. Cameron Lee Hill. Lucas James Hill. Tyler James Hoffman. Dawson Robert Hoffman. Rachel Ann Holzum. Lenitra Shell Horton. Jennifer Rose Hiddle. Michaela Lee Humblett. Mackenzie Marie Humblett. Cal David Jensen. Tristan James Gindra. Hunter David Payne Jordan. Caroline Jean Kondrabi. Christina Marie Kasich. Floyd Allen King. Drew Walter Koken. Alexis Ann Colts. Carissa Marie Knopp. Cal Charles Konchak. Michael Anthony Krieger. Morgan Mary Christoph. Blake Robert Keel. Nicholas Christopher Larson. Bailey Catherine Lau. Brendan John LaValle. Emily Jane Lax. Destiny Marie Lemus. Hannah Grace Levin. Haven Grace Lazat. Kaylin Jean Lazat. Trenton Clay Liberty. Brooke Elizabeth Lindquist. Newlong Jack Lore. Jackson Lee Lewis. Amanda Caroline Lukowitz. Christian Andrew Mackey. Molly Lynn Mapes. Samuel David Marshalik. Bridget Eileen Massey. Tristan Charles Moss. Chad Glenn McAllister. Kara Michelle McCutcheon. Elijah Peyton McClester. Allison Marie Mino. Devin L. Metoxen. Jacob Thomas Mickey. Madison Lynn Moran. Jacob Michael Morgan. Erin Mary Knockreiner. Ariana Elizabeth Nielsen. Samantha Ann Knorr. Natalie Sue Novak. Dale Henry Olson. Haley Nicole Olson. Clayton Mitchell Ott. Nicholas Irvin Pollock. Rebecca Rose Peters. Mallory Elizabeth Pilon. Ella Mackenzie Perry. Katrina Marie Phillips. Marissa Rose Pop. Tiffany Ann Marie Poquette. Haley Marie Powers. Deontay Robert Preby. Austin Allen Reckelberg. Cheyenne Patricia Redhale. Carmen Caroline Reed. Skylie Mae Rays Elm. Nicholas Dalton Siegel. James Matthew Sinclair. Majer Iman Sinclair. Keith Aaron Signs II. Caitlin Jean Sitkoski. Matthew Jeffrey Luther Skenendor. Tyler Francis Skoviak. Aaron Clarence Skubal. Colin John Skubal. Ireland Pearl Slattery. Brooke Christine Smits. Kyler Martin Smits. Madison Grace Stoffel. Evan Joseph Storr. Jordan David Strick. Eric Jeffrey Suda. Autumn Louise Sousa. Miles Justin Switchikowski.